Hello, welcome back. On this video, I'm just going to go over on the decisions I make on which books I buy, or basically how or even a why I buy them. So this is going to be pretty clean cut for the most part. I'm going to get straight to the point. So for instance, we have this How to Solve It book. So I picked it up a few days ago, and there's a couple reasons why I picked this book over a lot of others. So I can tell by here it's faded quite, which lets me know, and the author's name is right here, which lets me know that it's likely a much older book. Non-barcode books are a lot of my go-to. A lot of other booksellers, and I do it as well, but the majority of the books that I find are not, they do not have a barcode. A lot of other booksellers rely on those barcodes, so they pass up a lot of these books. So since it's an older book, interesting look to it, cover to it, and I saw, this, it looks like an F and a P. Can't quite make out what that is, but I had no idea what it was. Doesn't have a barcode, so I hand type it, and when I hand type it in the currently listed, I look for things that match this cover. It's more likely, most likely, that newer editions and printings, not always with the printings can be the same. Case in point is the Robert Heinlein Stranger in the Strange Land hardcover book. So the hardcover on it, the dust jacket on it, is exactly of the first printing, but when the first printing was 1963, 1968, so there shouldn't be a barcode on it at all, and it had a barcode. So it was the 13th printing that emulated the exact dust jacket or cover of what it was in the original one. So that's a case in point that you might want to look out for. So I was kind of fooled. I still got like $80 for the book. So we're going to go to, speaking of hardcovers, this book here. Again, no barcode. So I could tell just by looking at it that it is an older style book. And even if this picture was used in a modern style book, the quality of the paper tells me that it's an older book. So I pull the book out, and there's a lot of older books out there. They're always not worth something. So that's why I look it up. Granted, it's in excellent condition, almost 70 years old. That's really, really good foxing. Well, no foxing is good, but that's really good condition. So I look it up based on its age. We go here with another book. And these are the ones that I mentioned that I had bought, that I wait till I get like 20 books in a row, because they're anywhere from 6 to 10 pictures, usually 8. So this is another one. It's called Indian Giver by Peter Wolf Toth. So I'm not sure, because a statue that looks just like this, that's right in front of a school or whichever, it's right past Wallhaven, in that general area. So this statue, this totem, stands probably 25 feet tall, and this is the face of it. So that would make kind of sense, because I found this book at the Salvation Army in Copley, or otherwise what I call Fairlawn. So, but the side of it, I can see it's a random, not really random, but not really a known press. And the book is called Indian Giver, so it caught my attention. So it made me wonder, all right, so I looked it up. I just looked up the title, and it does sell. I mean, it's anywhere from $20 to $30. A book like this size here, that's $20 to $30. I open it up, and it's signed. So this brings this up to $40 to $50. I think 2 have sold using Terapeak over 3 years for that price range. So for the $1 or $2 that I paid for it to list it for right around 50, probably end up getting 40. I'll do it. I'll sit on this book, because another book, I'm reading the title, not all of it, but if I'm reading the title, And all I could do is make this out. I'm picking up that this is Syndrome. A lot of medical stuff. This is an older book, non-barcode. So this lets me know that it's an old. I read it and it's hiatal hernia syndrome. No idea what it is, and it's Guide to Self-Healing. So a self-help book on a very, 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 I'll say it this way, niche, because that's the way it's supposed to be. So in a very, very niche area of this book and of this topic, I went ahead and looked it up. They are listed anywhere from 20 to 40 bucks. And back to matching the cover. So I matched this cover with what has sold, and these ones sell for 30 to 40 bucks. I bought it for $1 or $2, whatever it was. This is Alcoholics Anonymous. You probably hear other YouTubers and the like saying to pick up Alcoholics Anonymous. Third and fourth and subsequent newer editions, not so much. This is a second edition 11th print. This is another $30 to $40. So although it's a little, it's going to be the 2-pound rate after it gets packaged. This is probably close to 2 pounds. You're not looking at it backwards for a book. They open up this side here. So this is Arabic translated to English. Granted, they do individually sell for $40 to $60. These are going to be at that 2-pound mark, a little over. I'm still going to be charged a 2-pound mark. So, but after looking them up quite a bit more, it would make more sense to sell them individually because I think there's 8 to the set. So the reason why I don't want to lot them is if somebody has a set and they only need one or the other, if I put these two together, the vast majority of people will not need just 2. I'm going to be out $4, maybe $5, but at $50 each, I'll be out that 5, stand a chance for them selling quicker, and more likely just stand a chance of them selling because somebody would want 1 as opposed to 2. Another book, and reason why I bought this one here, it's hardcover. Again, very, very clean. This particular one is maybe $30. Maybe it's very light. It'll probably be at the 12-ounce rate. It's a, I remember, 1963. So for this book being 60 years old, it's extremely clean. The title itself does sell in paperback for around $15. I'm assuming it's a first edition. I have to look up more when I go to do the listing. However, it's likely a book club, but I'm not sure. I have to do more research because all I see is this. Book club edition would have basic information up here. And down here, and on a dust jacket, it would read BCE book. Well, it would read Book Club Edition. It wouldn't be BCE. That's what booksellers put in the title, is BCE to stand for Book Club Edition. And if I have room, since I'm already putting the word book in the title, if I have room, I'll write club in edition. But it's always going to be book and the word club and BCE. I don't have room for edition. Maybe it's all the way back into the first edition, whichever. But try to always have as many of those words as you possibly can. Utilize those 80 characters. Even if things don't make sense, even if things are shortened and abbreviated, still use it. I don't have to use all of the words. I know this is going to be contradictory for what I just said. I don't have to use all of the words for all of my listings, in part because the vast majority of what I buy to sell one-off items. And one-off would be me just buying one at a time. That's what one-off means in my sense. But there's not a lot of competition out there for this. The total amount of listings is, if I remember right, is probably 20. So if somebody's looking for the hardcover of this, me or maybe 1 or 2 other people are going to be the only ones with the hardcover. So I don't have to get super crazy on detailing it in the title. This book here is a Holy Psalter, I want to say, by St. Mary's Press. I want to say St. Mary's Press. I'll have to look at the actual listing to ensure that's what it is. But this one is sealed. Now, this exact book, the reason why I picked it is because it's sealed. When you're looking at books, believe me, or any other bookseller, when they tell you, when they find books out in the wild, most of the time they're not going to be sealed. So this was why I picked this one up. So I read the side. I'm like, oh, it's a religious book. Let's see if I can get a win-win out of it. Sure enough. So I looked it up. None in this specific coloring. this kind of greenish, mint green color. I'm colorblind, so if it's not mint green to you, it's mint green to me. So for this one here, and I looked them up, and they sell used anywhere from 30 to 60 bucks. This is new. It's listed right around that $70, $75 range. I probably had it for 2-3 months, give or take. This is Divine Nectar. All right, so it's an older. It feels like a library bind. It does have library stickers on it. So I think this is more like Buddha type realm-ish. I had a different one like this, not this exact one. That was still like a $30 book. It was a much, much smaller version. Now this is one that I've had for a while. The title has sold a couple times. This is a non-barcode book. Again, I'm looking, just even having the word death in there, right? It's something worthwhile for me to grab and pick up and look at. It is an ex-library, kind of a niche topic for books-wise, for topic-wise. And I want to say that it is a first edition. I'm not seeing it anywhere. I'm not seeing anywhere on the desk jacket or anything like that to say that it's a book club edition. I'm not quite certain. I may have it as a first edition because it reads first published in Great Britain, 1968. And down here looks like some Great Britain words. And the actual year that it's showing somewhere around here is 1968. So that's pretty easy to deduce. But if the first printed in Great Britain, it shows that its publisher address and information is from Great Britain. It doesn't say anything else. It doesn't say US or translated or anything. So that lets me figure. This is a pricier book. I do have it up there. I've sent out quite a few offers in the time frame, but I want to say it's around about at the $100 range. So I'm going to hold on to this and wait because it does get quite a bit. But when I'm going to 3 to 5 stores a day and I'm coming back with 20 to 40 plus things a given day, and at least 25 of that, usually 20 to 25 of that is going to be listed, likely not that night, but the next day. If I have $600 of stuff listed and it's all media, and going at the rough math of what fees and everything would be is $400. So even if I have all that time invested in looking stuff up and everything between the day and the pictures and all that, I'm putting in, I would say, probably what most people do, 6 to 8 hours a day. And if all of those 600 of stuff that I listed today sell, after fees, shipping, product costs is about 400 bucks. That's not too bad if you consider that I have, let's just say, 8 hours into it. That's 50 bucks an hour if we want to go that way. I don't go that way. I go by, I know that I need to have a certain amount of net payout average a week from eBay. I know that math in my head in order to make plenty of headway. So that is kind of a generic video on how I pick the books that I do. Although there may be 1,000 books to look at, I'm just cursory. That felt weird. I'm just cursory going through the titles, finding those catchy words, finding the old style font, finding the old style dust jacket paper, finding the fade, finding, because there's no barcodes for me to see on the spine of the book. So that's the stuff I look for. Out of 1,000 books, I'll just say I might look up 20. Because now within selling books, and I've been selling books a little longer than I have been selling disc media. So I've become a little more privy. And it doesn't take long to become familiar with topics and styles and features, and if you want to call it a feature, of what types of books and styles to look for in order to get into selling books. So that's going to end it for that one. If you like what you heard, like what you saw, feel free to leave a comment. Feel free to leave a thumbs up. You can only do one, but run it on a different account. Give me another thumbs up. Feel free to subscribe and share. They're all free. It only takes a second. Helps me out. Helps you out. Appreciate it.